There's a lot of scaremongering going on at the moment, isn't there? There's a lot of fear in the air. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I can feel it. There's a lot of fear. I get a lot of emails, as you probably know. I get a lot of emails. I can't keep up with all the emails. People keep sending me links to terrible videos. It scares the living daylights out of me. There's a lot of fear out there. And I don't know whether any of it's true, whether it's all posturing, whether it's sensible even to be looking at it. Maybe it's what they want. We know some of these things are happening. The 15-minute cities, we know they're running trials. They're putting plant pots down the roads. There's all the information coming out that they're going to be surveilling us and monitoring us and listening into us and making sure we have digital IDs and all these other things that we've got. The net zero. Oh yes, we're going to have to net zero. No carbon whatsoever. We're going to be digging up the roads and putting in electric points all over the place, and wind farms are going to manage to give you all the electricity you're ever going to need. And there's all of that. And then there's the whole, oh yeah, they're trying to sort of get you injected with something. It's going to have complications. And then there's all the fear mongering all over the place about, yes, it's all part of some depopulation plan. We're all going to die in a horrible, agonizing and miserable death, if not from myocarditis or some other stroke or something like that. Then, of course, then there's the nuclear thing and the war that's going on between the Ukraine and Russia. And then there's all these tanks being poised and all these pictures. And depending on which website you go on or which YouTube channel or which Rumble channel you'll go on, they're saying this is happening and that's happening and you've got to stock up with all this necessary stuff. Get yourself some water and some dried food and tins of this and a few jolly old bits of biscuits and bully beef and some powdered egg and everything will be fine. Dig yourself a little bunker, get a paper bag, shove it over your head. You're all going to be okay if it goes tits up. But if it does go tits up, you know, and everything is like nuclear explosion, or what is it? Is it an EMG or EM something or other? This big electronic pulse that's going to wipe out the banks and take away the money, so you can't buy anything online, you can't go to the supermarket, there won't be anything grown, we're all going to starve and be running around with nothing to eat and eating our clothes or the slugs on the floor in the garden, unless they're sort of glowing and radioactive and all of that. And we'll be in a nightmare situation. I mean, there's so much fear at the moment that in the end you start to think, well, what can I do? What can I do? Even if I do store up with a little couple of bottles of water and a tin of beans, what am I supposed to, how long will it last if there's a nuclear fallout? Is it going to last for 30 years? Have I got to be in a bunker without sunlight? Should I not just go and buy some razor blades and just sit in the bath and go, oh, well, that's it. Been nice knowing you. See you on the next one. And away you go. You know, in the end, you start to think, hang on, all of this is just too much. It's just too much. In fact, I'm not even going to embrace it. I'm just going to laugh at it. I'm just going to have a good old giggle. I'm going to be hysterical. I'll have a couple of whiskies. I'll be hysterical. If it comes, it comes. It just seems to me like they're ramping up. I mean, apparently this week, or is it next week, sometime soon, we'll get a beep, 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 beep. Oh, is that my phone? Hang on, let's have a little look at the old phone. Oh, look, there's a message from the government telling us that there's a nuclear attack. Don't worry, it's only a test. Don't panic. We're not going to get destroyed this week. No, that'll be next week. But you're just testing so that we can tell you 4 minutes before it lands that you've got time, you know, to get under the floorboards or climb up the chimney or wherever your safe point is. And don't forget to take a tin opener, because you'll never be able to open those tins, especially if there's a nuclear explosion, it blows off all your fingers. You won't be able to use the ring pull. So simple as that. The thing is, though, you see, I've been thinking about this a little bit more and thinking about the fear-mongering and all this sort of stuff and thinking, yeah, you can keep us down, you can keep us oppressed, you can get us frightened, you'll tell us to stay indoors, we'll do through all of that and, you know, make sure you've got your little tin hat on, or even one of those tin foil hats. They're always useful, aren't they? They'll protect you from something. And I was thinking to myself, with all this fear-mongering, with all this nonsense, with all this pressure, with all of this that's happening, if the worst comes to pass, let's just imagine, for the sake of argument, that these leaders who have got access to a red button so that these things can fly out and people are going to be blown up left, right and centre and deformed and all the rest of it. If they firstly, are they really going to do it? Are they really going to sit there and think, blimey, do you know, when I was young, there were all these wonderful popular songs I used to dance to. People used to get together in groups and they would make love, not in groups, I'm not talking about that, but you know, people would get together at parties and they would make love and they would have families and there'd be children, they would have schools and there was beautiful countryside and there's trees and butterflies and birds. Are we really going to say goodbye to all of that? Are we really going to say goodbye to the wonderful plays and books and culture and all the expressions of human nature, of desire and love and romance? Are we really going to say goodbye to all of that? Are we really just going to destroy humanity because it is such a wonderful and magical and precious thing? Are we really going to get rid of that? And what? Go back to those few survivors with their eyes falling out and their ears popped off and their teeth decrepit and their legs hanging off and blood seeping out? Are we really going to have just sort of zombie creatures crawling about? Is that really what we want? Is that the future that we really want when we've got this amazing, beautiful planet in which we could all be very kind? If only we would split the differences, if only we could get on with one another, if only we weren't so bloody greedy about everything all the time. Are we really going to do it? And if the answer is yes, because we don't care, because we're psychopaths, we haven't got an emotion in our body, we're stupid, we just think that we're gods, yes, we're going to do it. And they press the button and all the things go flying and there's explosions and there's these electronic pulses and everything happens and it kicks off and all our houses disappear and some of us crawl out of the rubble and some of us don't. If that's really what does happen, if that's what happens, not all of us are going to die. However many in the world there are, not all of us are going to die. There will be some survivors. There will be some that will come out of that. And okay, they'll be hungry, they'll be dazed, they'll be thirsty, and they'll be looking amongst each other. Have you got any food? Are you sure? Right, I'll have that. And yes, there will be a little bit of the old punch up and the strongest will win and the weakest will suffer. Yes, there'll be all of that. And we know that and we can be frightened by that and we can be, oh my God, what have we happened? But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, that if that does occur, those people who have made it happen, those people, even from the lowest of the low, say the councillors in the councils that have been pushing us into 15-minute cities and net zero and have been on the side of the government for all this tyranny, those people who've got more money than sense, those members of parliament, those lords and ladies, those people in power who had a chance to prevent all of this, those people who could have said, do you know what, I think maybe we shouldn't get involved, maybe we should just pull all our troops back out, maybe we should just let them get on with that little bit of split difference over there, maybe we should not have let this escalate into a nuclear war or a digital thing, maybe we shouldn't have oppressed the people, maybe we shouldn't have injected them with some slimy juice that has made a lot of them just feel very bad and others feel ill and others just... Maybe we shouldn't be doing this because the people who do survive, and there will be those survivors, and yes, they may be a bit anarchistic and amongst themselves, but they know who started this. They'll know who stole their children from them. They'll know who's responsible for killing their parents. They'll know who's disrupted the whole financial institutions and so they have no money or no trading. And they will regroup and they will find common cause and out of those ashes they will grow. But they won't forget. They won't forget who was responsible. So even if you're Richie Sunaks and you're Klaus Schwabs and you're whoever it is who has the power and the influence, whoever it is, the Bill Gates who bought up loads of land and may have come up with a solution to stick into your arm. Whoever it is, all those people, they may have found, oh yeah, we've got our little bunker and we've got our little army of men with guns. We'll be protected. Will you? What are you going to do? Your food will run out. You have no farmers left. You've just killed them all. You've just destroyed the planet. There is this wasteland of nuclear infection everywhere. You're not going to survive either, are you? You idiots. You're not going to survive. And those people who will isolate and know where you live and will find you, I will find you. And when I find you, I will kill you. They will be after you. They will come and you have nowhere to run. You may think, oh, I'll be all right, I'll be on my island. Well, your private jet's not going to help you anymore because there's nobody making any fuel. All the bank details will have disappeared. Your money will also have gone. You might have some gold. I've got some gold. Well, who are you going to trade it with? Trade it with, what, another extremely very rich person who happens to be in his own bunker? Well, what are they going to do? Eat the gold? It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. They cannot do this because they have nowhere to go and they will only go down the plug hole like the rest of us. They might survive a week or two more, but that's all. So do we really think they're going to do this? Are they really going to kill us? Are they really going to push us into these 15-minute cities? Because at the end of the day, humanity, and I believe strongly in humanity, are going to say, no, do you know what? I don't like this. I don't like you. You're pushing us too far. We're happy to be enslaved to a certain degree. We're happy to sort of go along with it because it actually suits us, because we don't have that great inspirations to take over the world. We just want to have a lovely family. We want to be able to walk into the countryside. We enjoy a few popular songs. We love a little barn dance from here to there. We like to get in bed and have a bit of rumpy-pumpy in the sack. We like to enjoy life and see the sun and the moon and the stars and all those wonderful things that this earth gives us. But if you do push us too far, we will not. Even the army, the soldiers, the police, and all these people who are instilled and employed, once there's no money, what do you think they're going to do? What are they going to do? They may well turn those guns round because they know who's cocked up the whole planet, cocked it up and made it into something nasty. And out of all of that, the people will get back together again. They will work it out. They will have a bit of anarchy. Yes, that's true. And they'll sort of go, oh, well, we need this. But ultimately, they will sort it out. And we will have learnt that we don't want psychopaths. We don't want idiots who want big egos and take over the world. You might as well hold on to the power that you've got now and not escalate any of this. Because if you do, as Leslie Howard said in Pimpernel Smith, you are doomed, captain of murderers. You are doomed.